This is about to be the most controversial prop firm video of 2025. I'm going to rank most of the CFD prop firms from S tier all the way down to trash. And believe me, there are two companies in the trash category that you want to keep an eye out for. The reason I'm doing this video is because 2024 was extremely volatile for prop firms. We had huge companies going bankrupt and we had small companies ranking up the ladder. And we simply did not know what companies to trust. But I do think that 2025 is a little bit different. MetaTrader is back, prop firms have learned from the mistakes, and some of them keep doing them. So in this video, I'm going to rank most of them and I will let you know exactly how I am ranking them. So without any further ado, let's go to the computer. Okay, so we are going to rank firms from FTMO level, because again, FTMO is going to be the first one that I'm going to rank, all the way down to trash, and there's going to be some that I have no opinion. The reason I'm going to have the no opinion is because there are companies that I simply haven't tried out yet, and I don't even have anyone that I trust in that has tried these companies. So I would rather give them a no opinion than a opinion that I don't know nothing about. And the other way that I'm going to rank these firms is through tradingcompass.com, that basically has an average of their Trustpilot reviews over the last days. And so you can see that over the last days, Breakout has on average a 5-star review, the Fivers has 4.9, Maven 4.7, FTMO 4.7, so on and so forth. So those are the main things that I personally use. This average actually comes from Trustpilot reviews, and all the reviews that are here are from Trustpilot. So it's the only website that does this. All of the other ones, they add their own twist, because if you pay them, you're just getting ranked more. While here is all about customer experience. So let's start off with FTMO. So FTMO, again, the reason why I'm doing FTMO first is that if there's anyone that you see that does not put FTMO at the top, you should not listen to their opinion. Believe me, I've been in this for a long time. Do not listen to anyone that does not put FTMO at the top. They have public track records. They've been around ever since 2014. And so they have such a good track record. You know that last year they profited $80 million. So it's just very trustworthy. And if they've profited $80 million, they won't mind paying you out $2,000. That's why FTMO, it has to be at the top. Right? So start off with FTMO. Don't listen to anyone that does not say that FTMO is at the top. So next one, let's go for Aquafunded. Let's start with Aquafunded. I would say I have no opinion on them. I know that they have the same owner as Blue Guardian. Next one, let's do E8. So with E8, I've heard a lot of things from E8. I would put them in the B category. You will notice I'm being very picky with the companies that I'm going to put in the A category, because if the standard is FTMO, but you don't want to go for FTMO, you want to go for something below, then it's important that I'm picky with it. And again, so many people are gonna hate me for this video, but believe me, I'm doing my best to be as unbiased as possible, right? So E8, they've been around for a good amount of time. Some people have good experience, some people have bad experience, but just understand that that's normal with prop firms. There are people that are gonna get their payout denied, and they're gonna say that, oh, it's the prop firm's fault, but it's also going to be their own fault. They just won't tell you. That's the bad part with prop firms. You never really listen to both sides of the story. But E8, I'm going to put them in the B category. Now, let's go for Funded Next. For Funded Next, I would like Funded Next if they were very, very good in terms of business outside of just, if I knew that their business is set up in an absolutely amazing way like they have with FTMO, with public track records, with multiple businesses inside of FTMO, and you would know that, then I would probably give them the FTMO tier. But I would say that Funded Next, they're very, very good in terms of web traffic. They have a lot of traders. They have a lot of payouts. If you go to payoutjunction.com, they are in third in all-time payouts, which is absolutely insane. On Trading Compass, over the last 7 days, they've had a 4.7 star review on average, which is very, very nice. So I'm going to put Funded Next in the A category. Next one comes Oanda. So Oanda, I'm going to put them in the B category. The reason why I'm putting them in the B category, I'll put them there with Blueberry Funded. And the reason why is because I still think that these broker-backed prop firms, they need a little bit more time to prove themselves, because yes, they're good in the broker business, but can they keep up in the prop firm business? So overall, I'm giving them the B because they are broker-backed, like real broker backed, not just some random broker. So I'm going to give them the B category. If I had to go for them, that I would personally trust them. I don't think they have the best conditions in general, but still, if you want to go for a broker backed prop firm, I think either Oanda or Blueberry is good. I also know that, for example, Oanda is not available in many countries, so again, I can't really give them anything great. Now let's go into instant funding. So with instant funding, out of respect, I'm going to give them the no opinion. The reason why, I don't really like instant funding models, especially in CFD prop firms. I just think it's pretty much a challenge disguised. I know that they have other challenges, but personally, I'm just going to keep them in the no opinion. Now let's go on to Seacrest. So with Seacrest, they are formerly MyFundedFX, and I would say that Seacrest is a very, very good company. The reason why is because their payout experience is absolutely seamless. It's like one of the best in the game. That's why I'm gonna put them in B. The only reason I'm not putting them in A is because I haven't heard from them much more. So I'm just gonna put them in the B category, in a high B. I really like Seacrest, and I hope that they're still around for a long time. Now let's go on to, oh my god, are we going to start already? This is gonna make some people hate me. So DarwinX Zero, I'm gonna put them in the trash category. The reason why I'm putting DarwinX in the trash category is because basically no one is making money with them, right? Yes, you have the top traders that have over 10 years have withdrawn $100,000. I know those are not the numbers, but I just think that for 99.99999% of people that are watching this, they shouldn't go for DarwinX, because they would be so much better off with FTMO or Funded Next or any of these other companies. The reason why is because it takes a long time to finally get funding, and then once you do, you get a 20% profit split. And I know people are gonna be like, oh yeah, but you get real funding from investors. Does it really matter? If you're getting paid from all these other firms, does it really matter that it's an investor capital? No, it just makes the experience worse in general. So with DarwinX, I will put them in trash. This is just my opinion. Again, I would never go near them. I just don't think it's worth it. They gained a lot of popularity when MyForex funds and all of these other companies started going down, because it's like, oh, we will never deny you a payout. And it's like, first, you have denied payouts. I have a friend that has already gotten a payout denied. And number two, no one that I know that is a good trader is getting paid. So with that being said, I would say DarwinX, I will keep them in the trash category. I would never recommend anyone going for them or would go for them. Now, on a good note, let's go to Funding Pips. With Funding Pips, I'm actually very, very impressed with Funding Pips. Funding Pips, they were very popular at a time, and then they just, it seemed like they fell off. Like in my mind, I thought, well, Funding Pips definitely falling off. I don't know, their popularity went down quite a bit. And then I checked. Web traffic is still super high. They're still at the top in payout junction. Last 30 days, they've paid out $3 million. All time, they've paid out over $110 million. This is just Rise payouts. So it's absolutely insane. And they're also well rated in the Trading Compass website, also with a lot of reviews on their Trustpilot. So Funding Pips, with their conditions, with the fact that they have MetaTrader again, with the fact that they're still high up the rankings in terms of web traffic and payouts, I have to give them the A category. I have to give a huge shout out to Khaled. I've talked with Khaled a few times. I like him, but it has nothing to do with that. Funding Pips definitely at the top. Now, let's go on to Maven. So with Maven, I don't know if you noticed, but Maven is basically at the top of the Trading Compass like average of Trustpilot reviews. So that is actually very, very good. But then when you come to Payout Junction, they're nowhere to be found, which is very, very unfortunate. But overall, I do like what Hunter is doing. Like he's just being a little bit more involved with the community. It's a CEO that is very, very involved. And so I would like to give them the C category, but because I like the involvement that the CEO has, I do want to give them the B category. I do have to give them that. Now, Lark funding, they're basically at the bottom of all time when it came to payouts. So personally, I just have to give Lark funding the C tier. I don't think that they're very popular. Again, it's nothing against the owners, nothing against the company. I'm just gonna give them the C tier because they don't have that much of a track record when it comes to payouts and so on. And it's not that they're bad, I just don't think that they're popular enough with enough of volume, right? Now, City Trader Imperium, they've had the A-book model for some time, so I'm gonna put them in no opinion. And I've just noticed I'm missing one. I was missing Thunder Pro on here. I was reminded because of the A-book model. Now, let's go on a good note. Let's go to Fivers. So Fivers, I'm also gonna give them the A tier, but I wanna give you one warning about Fivers, which is Fivers is great. They've been around for a long time. They're highly ranked in the all-time payouts, and they're also highly, highly ranked on Trading Compass. The only thing that I would say is that there is a risk. This has happened to a couple of people that I know with Fivers, which is once they get funded, they get extremely cut on the risk. And that's fine because I do think that that is something that long-term is just gonna make the company more sustainable. But I'm just saying this for you to be careful. So you come with the expectation that maybe if you pass, your risk is gonna be slashed. And that's fine as long as you get paid, right? But since they've been around for a long time, they have a lot of reviews, they have a lot of good reviews, they have a lot of payouts, I have to give them the A tier. Now, Audacity Capital. Audacity Capital, I do have to put them in either the C or the D category. They've been around for a long time, but I just don't think that they've been able to adapt in these conditions. So I'm just gonna give them the C, not to give them the D category. So with that being said, Audacity Capital is gonna be in the C category. Now let's go to Goat Fund the Trader. For Goat Fund the Trader, I'm gonna give them the C. And the reason why is because I know he has good intentions, but I also don't know if I would trust being max allocated with the company. So with that being said, I'm gonna give them the C. I'm not gonna say anything horrible about them. I'm not gonna say anything bad. I know some people have good experiences, some people have bad experiences, some people swear by it, and some people swear never to touch it. Personally, I'm just gonna give them the C category. I think it is fine to be there. Now, let's talk about Breakout. Now, Breakout is a crypto prop firm. I know the owner for a good amount of time, and I have to say, knowing a little bit about the company itself and seeing their presence, I have to give them an extremely strong A category. The reason why is that if you are a crypto trader, you have to go for Breakout. There's no questions about it. If you are a crypto trader, there's no other company besides Breakout for you to trade with. Yes, some people are gonna say this one, but I'm not even gonna give them a rating. I have no opinion. I've heard some bad things, but again, I personally have no opinion. But Breakout definitely deserves the A category. And I would definitely say that if you are a crypto trader, you have to go for Breakout. They are a little bit more expensive, but you get basically any single coin that you think that is popular is going to be in Breakout. They have institutional level liquidity, they have broker level liquidity, and if I am not mistaken, I do think that they book a lot of traders. So seriously, if you are a crypto trader, you have to go for Breakout. Now, CK Capital. CK Capital is from my friend Dan. Personally, I haven't had much experience with it, so I'm gonna give them the no opinion. But overall, I know Dan. I know he has great intentions with the company. I know he is very business savvy, but I just don't have really an opinion. But CK Capital, I don't really have an opinion. Funded Trading Plus, basically the same thing. Definitive Funding, basically the same thing. It's okay, also the same thing. Now, as I've said before, the reason why I have the no opinion category is simply because I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, but I just can't form an opinion of myself. Therefore, instead of giving them a bad rating or a good rating based on something that I've heard, because I know it's pretty biased what we hear on the internet, then I would rather not give any opinion. Now, with FunderPro, I'm going to give them a strong B category. The reason why I can't give them A in general is because their challenges are much harder, right? And yes, they say that they have the A book model, but what I also think is like, if FTMO does not have an A book model or Funded Next doesn't have an A book model, but they pay me out consistently, then I would first go for them, right? Their challenges are a little bit harder on FunderPro, which is completely fine, is as long as it makes a company sustainable. And I do know a lot of people that are getting daily payouts with FunderPro, which is absolutely insane. They're getting multiple thousands of dollars paid out every single day once they get funded. So the challenge phase is a little bit harder, but once you get funded, it's great. So I would say FunderPro, I give them a good B category. Like if I had to put these in order, I would probably go Seacrest and then FunderPro. So I would give them a good rating. For traders, I have really no opinion. What I would say, we have here the new trash. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love this. I personally seriously dislike this company. This company has rules that are very bad that I seriously don't like. I know a ton of shady marketing that this company has done. So you will personally never hear me say for you to go for this company. I have no trust in them, and that is Quant. Quant is going into the trash category. I would never recommend anyone going for it. The reason why people go for it is because it's a heavily discounted prop firm, but guess what? When it's heavily discounted, the probability of the company going down is high. And also, if it's not, it's because there's something there in the rules that makes them be profitable. So think about that. And that's probably what it is. And I would recommend you reading the FAQ very well before you buy a challenge, because what they do, I seriously dislike. Now, Alpha Capital, they were already in the A category for me. They were even at one point very close to FTMO. I really liked Alpha Capital, but then they started growing so much and they started having a little bit of problems. So now I have to put them in the B category. I still really like the team. I still really like the company itself, but I just can't put them in the A category anymore. And I know a lot of people ask me about my opinion about Alpha Capital. Again, if I had to, I would still go for Alpha, but because there are a couple of firms that I would recommend more, then I would go for them before I would go for Alpha. Now we have Blue Guardian. Blue Guardian, I'm also gonna put them in the B category. I'm very impressed with what they've been doing recently, and that they're still on, and now they have MetaTrader again. So overall, I'm happy to say that Blue Guardian could be in the B category. They also have a good amount of payouts. And then FXFI, due to the fact that FXFI is actually quite low on the Trading Compass website, but they are quite high up on the Payout Junction all-time payouts. I would like to give them the B category, but I would put them around. It's a thing. I'm going to make an exception for the last one, which is I'm going to put them between B and C, right? But let's keep them right there, a little bit lower. So overall, I really stand by this tier list. And I know a lot of people are not going to like this. I know a lot of people swear by DarwinX, but believe me, I just don't see a reason to do it with so many great companies out there with much easier challenges, much easier ways to get a payout. FTMO, it has to be at the top. And then with A category, I think we have really solid companies in the A category. So if I had to go for any company, like personally what I'm doing right now, again, if you know where I'm putting my money in, so I put my money where my mouth is, my money is always going into Funded Next and FTMO. And so with that being said, that is really it. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to check the links for these companies, I'm going to put them all in the description. And by the way, the reason why all of these companies make so much money is because a lot of traders fail, right? We already know that's the business model. A lot of people fail these companies. And so What I have to tell you is that it does not matter what company you go for. If you are unprofitable, you will lose. It does not matter what company you go for. And that's why I've created Funded Trading Blueprint. Funded Trading Blueprint, the only goal is to get you guys funded and get you multiple payouts. We've launched with an amazing price of $299 for 6 months, and you get access to so many things, multiple live streams, multiple Q&As, an FX course, a futures course, a gold course, access to me, and access to the coaches, all only for the price of $299. So instead of going for one more prop firm challenge that you know you are going to fail because you're not profitable, just make sure to check out Funded Trading Blueprint if you want to get funded in 2025. So I stand by this. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this. If you want to check out Trading Compass and Payout Junction, I'll leave the links in the description so you know exactly where to go to see this. Hope you enjoyed this video. Click right here to watch the full guide on getting funded this year. And if you're looking for a reputable firm to get funded with, then Funded Next is the way to go. Click right here and use code Kimmel for 120% refund. And if you're struggling with overtrading, you already know Trade Blocker is the way to go.